And what you can do is, we're going to get you a new version of this in a week or so. That'll allow the laser scanner to work. Right now it just uses the camera.
Okay.
To scan barcodes, or you could type your barcode in here.
But right now, the camera will work on the barcode.
Yes.
Okay.
Strange keyboard. Okay, and then this button here is what will activate the camera or act as an enter command. So when you click on it, it now says, what did I scan? Did I scan a location barcode or an asset barcode?
An asset would be the extinguisher itself.
An asset would be an extinguisher or anything like that.
Okay.
The location is the actual physical location tag. So here you see we have the information about it. It's a device type, same as what we have on here. Miscellaneous manufacturer and model. No serial number. Come over here, you see the manufacturer date. Okay, if I come, I would also show the size, the rating, and the agent type on here.
Okay.
If I click on the location button, it now gives me information about that location.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's in the safety office, it's in Building Century Road, etc. If I wanted to look at notes that were entered about this thing, I can come here. There are no notes. I can enter a new note if I want.
Let's say, for example, that extinguisher was blocked by equipment. That would be something for that type of notes.
You could put a note in like that. If it's behind a locked door, you could say, call so and so for a for a pass key or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And once the note is here, you could just, and the note it's a verbal type thing. I mean, it could be as complicated or whatever as you want.
Okay.
And it'll show it right here when you click on it. If you have more than one note. And it would just show them on here, and you'd be able to scroll through it. You can also view the inspection dates of this guy. He's next due on 3/17/2018. That doesn't sound right, but let's take a look at it. Okay, that's when he's due. That's when we put them in. So you can see the inspection dates that are there as well.
So we'll be able to preset these for every month.
When you do one inspection, it'll automatically preset it for the next month.
Okay.
Yeah, I can also scan a barcode. And accept it. This time I say I scanned a location barcode. If I look at the location, it gives me information about that. If I click on View Assets, it'll show me the assets that are there. Now when I click on any one particular asset, it'll give me all the information about it.
Okay.
Going backwards. What else I can do on this screen, and this is what I was saying, don't add assets or locations. I can come here and say, let's add a location. Okay, and this is as you're going around the shop, you got a roll of your barcode labels. You take a label off, and you glue it to the location.
Yeah, we've got most of them done where we've got the barcodes on the extinguishers and on the location. So
good. If you got them done, then all you got to do is come here. I just want to see what we have, what I've put in so far. Search. Okay. So what you could then do is come here and either use the camera or the barcode scanner and scan a location.
now you mean barcode scanner and camera, is that not?
The laser scanner that's on it. Right now it's not turned on in the
Okay.
program, and we're just putting the finishing touches on that.
So right now we'll be using the camera.
Right, now you'll be using the camera so you can scan that location. Then you come here and you give it a description. Okay, you have to select the site. And anything you see with the drop down, you have to have pre-built before you come out here. That's why the homework assignment. So you come here and you say, okay, this is at the Constellium site, and which building is it in? It's in Century Road.
But
you can go ahead and save it.
But for building, I would actually put what building it's in, correct?
That's correct. Right now, Century Road is the only building that we've built in there.
Yeah.
But as you build up your buildings, then they'll be available.
Like right now, I'm sitting in the MIR conference or MIR building, so that's something we could do, or I could do
Right,
later.
you're going to be adding them, right?
Okay.
Have to add them on the desktop. So once you've added a location, you can now come here and add the asset.
Okay. So right.
And you can scan it with the camera, or you can scan it with the barcode scanner once we got that ready for you.
So when I scan it for the camera, would that automatically bring up any of my fields I need to fill in?
After you scan it, you tap that OK button. It'll bring up the fields that you need then.
Okay.
Okay, we have to say this is a fire extinguisher. And it's a miscellaneous manufacturer. And the model.
Now, does a serial number have to be put in?
It does. That's not a necessary
Okay.
field. Just like on the computer, it's not a necessary field.
Okay.
Okay, we have to pick out a manufacturer date for it if we wanted to calculate the hydro date. So let's say 2014, and let's say April 9th.
That's not a necessary field right now, is it?
That's not a necessary field either. No.
Okay.
The only thing that's necessary is the tag ID, the device type, manufacturer, and the model.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pick out a size. Let's pick out a rating, which is not necessary. Come here and let's pick out a agent. Okay, now we have to go and tell it which location it's at. So we can go here.
So then I would take another photo of the tag, location tag.
You can click this guy, click allow. There's the camera. And then you'll just scan just align that red line over the barcode, and it'll automatically capture it.
Gotcha.
Let's put this in this location, and you'll see it fills in everything else. It's at Constellium Century Road. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to say the asset has now been added. And then it's going to come back and says, now I can add inspection dates to this asset.
Okay.
Okay, so I click on inspection dates, and the first thing you notice is that the 6-year and the 12-year dates are filled in from the manufacturer date. And we picked those because it says dry chemical on them. If we had picked the CO2, it would only fill in the 5-year date.
Okay.
Now I want to fill in the annual date. So let's say the last annual inspection was on September 28th. And let's say the last monthly inspection was April 26th. And I say okay. Now I've got those dates there. I'm going to go ahead and click here. And it says those inspection dates have been assigned to that asset and they've been added there. If you want to add another asset, let's say you got a room with 10 extinguishers in it and it's all going to be the same location, you could just click on the plus sign, it'll go back and give you more stuff. But I'm going to come out, and the first thing we're going to do is let's go here and synchronize this guy. You'll see it synchronized, it says it's updated the database, okay, so I'm good there. Shows me the date and time that I did it. Now let's come back here and see what we did to the computer. I'm going to do a search on my locations. There's the location that I added, LT0003. You can see all the details about it. And I'm going to go to the equipment page. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a search. And there's the asset that I added. So if I click on that, see, there's the information we added about it. Serial number, manufacturer, model, the agent, the size, the location. If I look at the history, it shows me that it was added on this date.
Now I got a question here. Upper left-hand corner there. Is that room for an actual physical photo of the extinguisher and the location?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You can either take a picture of it at that location, or what will happen is that when you click on it, okay, it'll give you a list of, if there's more than one photo, that'll give you a list of them. Then you can click on it, it'll put it there.
Okay.
So if you take a picture of it, you can come here, click on Choose Files, come here, find a picture. Just put any picture in there.
Okay.
And your picture stays there.
Okay. So we take a picture with the device itself, right?
You can take a picture with the device itself, and you'll have to save it on the device, and won't automatically put it into here.
Oh, okay.
That's because we did sell some devices that didn't have cameras in them.
Okay.
Okay, but then you got that picture there. You can see it. If you click on it, you can actually trash the picture too if you don't want to keep it there.
Okay.
The other thing is that if you remember from our training, if I came here under maintenance and went down to model information, I can add another picture here if I wanted to. Okay, and this could be a picture of what the device looks like when it's new. And what will happen is that picture will be available anytime that model is called up.
Okay.
So you only have to save like a new picture one time. The other thing I want to take a look at and show you is when I do a search, if I call up this asset and look at inspection results, here you'll see we took our April 26, 2018 date and we updated it by a month. Okay?
Okay.
We took our annual data, September 28th of 2017, updated it by a year. So I've already calculated my next annual date. And if I come down farther, I took my 2014 date, added 6 years and 12 years to it to calculate my hydros. So now you've already scheduled inspections for this guy.
Okay.
Let's go back to our handheld. And here's that stupid advertisement that they have. Let's go back to here. We're going to go back to Firebug again. The next thing we can do is move assets. Okay, and again, moving the asset is based on the barcode. So let's move this first asset here, the one that's in the safety office. And we can scan the asset code, either with the camera or with the laser scanner. Click on the camera thing to accept it, and it tells me that this is the asset that I've scanned.
I wrote it down and I had a question about it.
Okay.
And I can scan and I can move more than one asset at a time. So let's say you're moving a dozen assets out for hydro testing. You could put them all in here and do one move to it. When I've collected all the assets I want to move, I click on Move Asset. Click on the arrow there, and it says, where am I moving it from? Right now it's in the safety office. I have this asset. Where do I want to move it to? And now I can either scan the barcode or select it from the list.
Of the location, right?
To the location, right.
Okay.
Now I'm saying, yes, I want to move it. It tells me that that asset was successfully moved. If I look at it here, you'll see that it's in that location now. From there. And that's basically how you're going to go around adding new assets and new locations to the system once you get your homework built up.
Okay. Let me, maybe this is for later. We have 20 security officers, and they have 20 different routes, which, you know, the plant's split up into 20 different routes.
Yep.
Is there a way to make routes and like give them route numbers?
Yes. But you need to get all your information built in there first. You see, we do have like a route inspection.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And you could build your routes up from over here.
So that would be, we would have to scan all extinguishers in the plant first, correct?
You would get them entered into the system first, right.
Okay, and then assign them.
Then you can assign them to a route. You can assign the locations to the route. And then every time the route gets renewed, you tell it, when you create the route, let's say we're going to create a test route. Okay, then I can come down and say, is it a structured route or a roaming route? The difference is that a structured route, once you set the sequence of the locations, they have to follow it. A roaming route, they could do it in any sequence that they want.
Oh, so if they go down like R1 bay, and then the next one is R2 bay, it would screw it up if they went from R1 to R3 bay?
Yes, it would just give you an error saying you can't do that.
Okay, well, we'd probably do a roaming route, because the guys do it, and I mean, they might get interrupted in a route. With
then you go back to where's the closest to finish it up.
Yeah, so we would do a roaming route.
Yeah, they would do a roaming route.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then the next thing you're going to tell it is what type of inspection you're going to do. Are you doing monthly inspections? If you do automatic, it's going to give you the highest level of inspection that's due. or you could pick any of them.
We do monthly
Pick hydro.
inspections.
It's going to pick out five. You could say, do I want to look at the 5, 6, 10, or 12, or all of them?
Okay.
And then you got to tell it what type of equipment you're going to do. So let's say we're going to do that. I'm going to say next. Now I got to tell it what locations are in the route. First thing I'm going to select is my site, and then my building. Then I have all my locations there, and I got to check off the ones to be included.
So those LT are actually extinguishers.
No, they're locations.
Oh, okay.
Location test.
Okay.
The extinguishers I labeled as TA for test asset.
Okay.
Then I'm going to say next. Now that route is created. Okay, and you'll see it's got a status of new. There are 4 statuses a route could have. It could be new, which means that it was just created, or it was just renewed. You could have a status of inspecting, which means that it was partially inspected but not completed. You could have a status of inspected, which means that it was totally inspected and somebody marked it as complete. Or it could have a status of canceled, which means that somebody went through and they got it partially done and then they marked it as complete. So it's really canceled because it didn't finish everything.
Okay.
The only time you could renew a route is when the status is either inspected or canceled. If it's in the process of being inspected or if it's new, you can't renew it at that point. You can't make changes to it either. Okay. So once you have a route set up, we can come here and take a look at our route reports to see what's in it. Why is he not printing? There he goes. And here's my route, test route. It's a roaming route. The status is new, and it's got 3 extinguishers in it. One's in the safety office because remember we did a move on it, but we didn't synchronize it yet.
Okay.
Okay, then I got 2 other extinguishers. So they're all in the route. So now I can go through and I can inspect them in the route. Come back here. Let's synchronize this guy to begin with.
So that's synchronizing the handheld to the software.
That's synchronizing the database that's on the handheld to the database that's on the server.
Right, okay.
And we'll go through, I'll show you how to do the route inspections at another time. Because you don't have the stuff in there to build a route and everything else. I just want to show you that we do have routes and you can have as many routes as you want.
Okay, so right today or tomorrow what I'm going to do a couple of simple office buildings and build those and attempt to put in the assets and the locations and show a report to my boss.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other thing that you can do is even before you get the routes built up, you can do a unit inspection. And the unit inspection is based on the barcode that's on the extinguisher. Routes are based on the barcodes that's on the locations. So let's inspect that guy. Click him. Okay, I can do 2 things. If it's not at the location where it says, I can change the location. Okay, click on change location and say yes. I can move them around. Excuse me. Or I can click on inspect asset. Say the inspection type. It's a monthly. If I had an inspection checklist built up, it's here. I could view it. Remember we built that the other day?
Mm-hmm.
What are the results? It passed. Do I have a status code I want to assign to it? I could put a status code on it if I wanted to. If you fail it, you have to give it a status code saying, why did I fail it? So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Come here. One more time, we'll synchronize. Now if I look at that asset, search on him, you'll see now he's in that location. Here's the other information about it. If I look at inspection results, I've updated it 1 month from today. I can come here, click on this guy. You'll see that he was inspected today and it passed. I can also look at the history of it. There's the move that we did today. If I expand it, it says I moved it from the safety office to there. And there's the inspection we just did. So monthly inspection. There's the date that it was inspected. And it passed. No status codes were assigned to it. It wasn't part of a route. And the barcode was not scanned.
Okay, what are the status codes?
Those status codes are usually reasons for failing it.
Okay.
And the status codes are things that you're going to build up. There's the different status codes that we have.
Okay.
Those are just testings that I put in there. You could build up anything that you want. Okay. And what I would do is I would make another status code, one that says not accessible.
Okay.
Okay, because when you're doing inspections, you don't want to skip an item because you can't get to it. You want to fail it and mark it as not accessible.
Okay.
And you can go back later, get a list of all the ones that failed, and you can go back and re-inspect it again if you want.
Okay. Can we go ahead and make that one?
Yep. Save it. Now what we have to do is we have to add that to our devices. So let's take a fire extinguisher. Let's call him as not accessible and save that. You can add it to any of the other ones. The SCBA air pack, you want to make it not accessible, you can do that as well.
That just
now when you do those inspections,
that gives us an option to put that if we need to. Is that what you're doing?
that's correct. I can once you create the status code, you can assign it to any device that you want.
Okay.
But the same reason, you wouldn't come here and assign a bad battery,
Right.
fire extinguisher.
Gotcha.
So you're not confusing the inspector with the things that he's got there. Just like you wouldn't have a hose on a fire alarm.
Right.
So you're customizing the system for what you want that way.
Okay.
So with that, you've got enough to go ahead, use the handheld to go ahead and collect some data. First build your, put your couple buildings in it, then go around and collect your locations and your extinguishers, and we could visit this again and take a look at it.
Okay. So, like today, I'm going to build a couple buildings, and I'm going to use my actual sign-in, official sign-in, not the
Right.
Firebug. So how do I go in and sign in on that briefly there?
On this guy?
Like where it says J. McGinley or whatever.
Right. So what we're going to do is log out. Go ahead and type your login in there. I don't remember how. Exactly
Oh,
how to
shoot.
begin mine.
Yeah, I don't have my list here with me. Okay, but that's just how I do it, and then put in the password I assign myself.
Right.
Okay.
Go here to settings. Go to users. Search.
You just skip me.
And your password is 1234. Do a login. Now you're into the system as you.
Okay. So then I hit the.
You always want to make sure that when you're done using the portable, that you log out. Actually, come here and do the.
I would need to sync first, too, right?
After you saved your stuff, you come back here and do a sync.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sync now because we just did sync it.
Yeah.
And it syncs it independent of who the user is.
Okay, so if I went in and scanned some extinguishers, their locations, and synced it, somebody else signed in, would they be able to access those extinguishers?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Alrighty.
That's why you want to make sure that when you come out of here, that you click the exit button to force somebody else to sign back in again. And the reason for that is that while you're signed in now, any work that's done on this thing, inspections or stuff like that, is going to be recorded and assigned to your name.
Right.
You don't want anybody else doing that stuff for you, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if they do it wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that we're trying to assign blame, but you want to know who did what.
Right. Mm-hmm. So today I need to assign buildings and then scan some extinguishing locations.
And scan some assets. On the assets, you're going to add your inspection dates. You're always going to add the date that the inspection was performed, not the date that it's going to be due. Let the system calculate the dates for you.
Okay. Assign the date it was done.
Right.
It was inspected.
There's a date on the tag. The annuals will have the hole punched in for the tag when it was done. And then if there's monthlies done, it'll be written it'll be initialed in the box around it.
Okay.
And the manufacture date you're going to get off the builder's plate. If it's an older extinguisher and it has been hydroed since it was built, there's going to be a ring around the fill nozzle. You would record that date for the 6 or 12-year date.
Okay.
Just change it when you can come to that screen.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to start, if you use the manufacture date and it's a 15-year-old extinguisher, you're going to start seeing overdues.
Right.
You don't want that.
Okay. I'll probably, until I get through this insurance audit, I'll probably skip that and then we'll really dive into it after I get through this audit.
Okay.
On the hydros and everything like that, because I know there's
Good.
several of them do.
Okay, so you're all set then. If you have any questions, be sure to give us a call.
Okay.
And then when you get more and more stuff in it, let me know and we'll go through and we'll show you how to create routes and how to do the route inspections.
Okay. I videoed a lot of this, so hopefully that'll help me out too if I have any questions. So.
Good.
All right, Bob. Tom, I appreciate it.
Anything you need, just let us know.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Take care.
You too.